acting are a bunch of, basically they're fan done clips. They're clips from various shows. I don't even know who they are. Some of them are from shows that have been licensed. But the whole point is, this is an exercise in matching mouth class. That's the basic thing we do as anime-dub actors when we get into the booth. We come in there by ourselves. We learn from the director what is happening in the episode. We don't get to see the episode ahead of time. And most fans say, why don't you watch the show ahead of time? It's like, well, there's 200 plus episodes of Naruto. At that time. And time is money for an actor. An actor needs to use their time wisely to schedule auditions and sessions for other projects. So that's why the burden of watching these, I say burden, I mean that's a positive way. Research. The director needs to research their shows. Typically they will watch the entire series. Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, who directed Naruto, has seen every episode, and she is just like the other fans. She's like, oh man, these fillers are slow. Hurry up. I'm like, yeah, but Kiva has a big part of the fillers, right?
Woo, Kiva!
So, we're hoping. We're going to do some technical difficulties, so we got a green tint going on. I don't think that really matters as long as you guys see the video, because we've already proven we can see the video. And hopefully we'll hear the audio too. Now, I said these are timeless clips, but the fact is there are beats on them. We use the beat method. The way we sync up, and we know when to start, we can match a clap. There are 3 syncopated beats. Where the 4th one would be, that's where you start. So each of these clips, we have made up dialogue. And what we're going to do is, I have the script. You will see it for the first time. You'll be able to hold the page in front of you. You can hold it up to the screen if you want to, kind of use your peripheral vision to kind of see it, because I understand, this is the first time you see it. If you're bad at memorizing lines, like I am, terrible, I always have to use my peripheral vision to kind of see what's going on with it. So we have okay, we're green. That's okay. We're going to be green like Christmas frog. Yay! Cool. Let me back up and introduce myself. But wait, you guys already know who I am, right? I don't need to introduce myself? Okay. Okay. I'm Kyle Hebert. Just so people understand, the last name is pronounced Hebert, like does a bear crap in the woods? It's a French name. We got 2 Cajuns here. I can't believe Daryl Gilbo and Kyle Hebert. I just met Daryl when we came off the airplane the other day. It's like, wow. And another Cajun. Alright, so yeah, I'm Kyle Hebert. I originally started anime voice acting in Texas with Funimation and Dragon Ball Z in 2000 as a voice narrator and Team Gohan. Since then I got Ox King, Icon, West Kai, and got on other shows on FMA, Place State Board, Officer Fallman, and I moved to LA last fall. I got on Naruto and Kiva. And thank you. And I'm playing Kendo on Eureka 7, but not on this season. The season was aired so far as another actor who unfortunately passed away from a heart attack over this year. But the character is for the entire show. Kendo owns the Gecko State. He has a big mustache and looks like he has a Russian hat. So they had me come in and voice match Bob, voice track. I said, okay, you're going to be Kendo. No, I was like, yay! But you're trying to step at the same time. How bittersweet. Yeah! So we come into the studio for the first time. The director has studied the episode ahead of time. They tell us what's going on in the scene. We see the script. You're seeing it like, pretend your line is like, what? Think how many different ways you can say the word what. And actually, you're not going to nail it on your first take. And that's okay. So when you guys come up here and volunteer, there's no need to be shy. Because we're all fellow fans here, right? I'll tell you a little something. It doesn't really take a 2 hour movie. So that all works out. So if you screw up, that's okay. What we're going to do is test your ability to act. Obviously, it's doing acting. It's not doing voices necessarily. If you would like to, just to keep the panel lighthearted and fun, we're going to do that. The made-up script lines, they're meant to be funny. They're meant so we can crack up. They're not the actual translated lines. They're not the point of the people in the panel. The point of the panel is to see if you guys can match the mouth flaps. And if you can do it in one take, great. If you can't, we're going to do it again. And I'm going to judge the performance and give you some directions. Like if it doesn't fit the flaps, and you guys will be able to observe, you'll be able to tell what is right and wrong with each person's take. I'll quiz you guys. I'll say, okay, what was wrong with it? Did they go too fast? Did they go too slow? All right, you went too fast. All right, that's all wrong. And I'll give you the motivation of your character and the setup of the scene. And I'll give you another little perk that we don't get as actors. But for the sake of this panel, you will. We fan-dubbed these clips. Myself, my friend Maria Boo, who put these together. She's a voice actress on the nation, and she's been doing fan-dubs for like the past decade. Let's do it like the NDK board. You'll be able to download it on her work, and she's really, really talented and stuff. And fan-dubs are a great way to get some experience, learning what it's all about. And you take QuickTime video files and play with sync and using different audio programs to edit and all that. Again, we're not recording today. We're just seeing if you guys can sync up as best you can using the script we provide with the video. Now, before we start, does anyone have any other questions about the dubbing process, like the beats and all that? We record by ourselves. Yes. Sorry, I didn't hear that. Well, each line is time coded. We don't have it on here, but on an actual episode of the show, there'll be a time code kind of burned into the corner of the screen, kind of like Cartoon Network, you see the logo the whole time. It has times in order to use hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds, and frames. And the writers sit there and use that time code. Take each line, break it down. Okay, it's this time code, it's this exact moment. And they use a computer program called Pro Tools to sync up with the video clip and cue it up right at the exact point when a person starts their line. So each line has its own time code that the engineer will cue up. So that's kind of how it works. The beats are always first. Now sometimes we'll go without beats if it's like there's on the flat, like the narrator of Dragon Ball Z, the kind of character on the show you can hear him. We can get through those lines faster because there's no mouth flaps. But because of timing, you still have to get the lines out. Like saying, oh, and Frieza, kick Goku's butt. Goku went to sleep for 1,000 years. Obviously, that has to sync up with Goku falling asleep for 1,000 years. So it's all about timing. Any other questions? No. Yeah. Never get the scripts ahead of time. Why? Because time is of the essence for an actor. We have to worry about other things. So the director watches everything ahead of time. And then they tell you what's going on in the show. And you come in and record. Now, in a perfect world, yes, you will have time to kind of study your character and everything. When you come audition for a part, like for Kiva, all I had to go on was a picture of him